Assassin's Creed Mirage is closed and we got a ton of new info. I can confirm for one that Basim's Valhalla outfit will be a legacy outfit we can use in the game, next to Altair's robe, and the Ezio Revelations outfit will be back as well. They should be available day one for free in the Ubisoft Connect section of the game, so that's pretty exciting. I'm not sure if you by the way saw this bench assassination yet that Axis the Animus demonstrated. Really cool that these are back. Like the hiding spot assassinations are of course also in the game, so will be fun to use those. And I got way more new gameplay to go over. I want to go a bit more in depth on the tool upgrades that are pretty wild and way more. So of course, if you are excited for Assassin's Creed Mirage, then don't leave a like. That would really help me out, and let's go. But first, the sponsor of this video, the free-to-play large-scale multiplayer action game War Thunder that you can play on PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and Mac, and it just got even bigger. The latest update, Sons of Attila, namely added an entire family of unique Hungarian ground vehicles to the game. Graphics have also seen an improvement with new visual effects that now dynamically change depending on the lighting, and the aerial battles are even more immersive thanks to the new voice warning system that has also been added. Like War Thunder perfectly captures the skill and intensity of battles with impressive explosions, diverse locations, and a unique damage system, which is really cool, where you really have to strategically focus on parts of the tank or aircraft to quickly take them out. There are also many ways to customize your vehicle, so totally download War Thunder for free by using my special link in the video description. And if you are a new player or haven't played the game for half a year or more, then you will receive a ton of amazing bonuses. You have to be fast though, as this offer is for a limited time. So again, check the link in the video description. Thanks to War Thunder for sponsoring the video, really helps me improve the channel. And now let's get back into it. The Ubisoft Connect challenges are live, sharing some interesting new info, and of course completing them will give you points that you can then spend on some rewards. Like for example, Valhalla had weapons like the Spartan bow from Odyssey and the white Senu skin from Origins. So I would imagine we can expect similar things for Mirage. So some of these challenges will just unlock automatically because they're part of the main story, like going to Alamut early on and getting your hidden blades. There are challenges that you will also probably just get while playing, like hiding in the environment or in a crowd for a cumulative 90 minutes, or doing 50 and doing 100 assassinations for a challenge, flying with Enkidu for 15 minutes in total. But there are also some that I think you will likely miss if you don't focus on them, so these are handy to know about. You namely need to defeat 10 of the mercenaries that will come hunt you when you have the max wanted status in the notoriety system. They can totally be challenging at first, but I found that using tools to nuke their defenses has been really successful, so they can easily go in for the kill. You will also need to read all the history of Baghdad, so find all these little collectibles in the world that give you more information about the settings, similar to the Discovery Tour from the previous games. There are 66 in total, at least in the version that I got to play, so I totally think getting all of them might be quite the grind. 100 pickpockets sound like quite a lot. It kinda is, but it's also easy enough, just smart to steal from every NPC you come across, which will also help you get a ton of money to, for example, buy an awesome mount. Like, I was surprised by the amount of mounts that were for sale at a stable in Mirage. Mostly horses, but also camels, with my favorite totally being the armored El Murda horse for only 200 coins. German YouTuber Fragnard was actually able to buy it in his play session, and I think it looks pretty awesome. Going back to the challenges, as you will also need to effectively use every tool 100 times, with every tool having their own individual challenge. I did not talk about it much here on the channel, but tools can of course be upgraded, and some effects you can unlock are pretty wild. So you have 3 tiers per tool, with the first one just giving some passive bonuses, like increasing the ammunition capacity for the tool. And this is by the way the first upgrade for every tool. Other things you can find in that first tier is increasing the distance for how far you can throw the tool, or how long the effect for like the smoke bomb for example will remain active. And you can by the way only per tier pick one of these upgrades, so it's up to you what you choose, and that will in particular be harder for that second and third tier. I want to go over some highlights. For the smoke bomb you can for example damage enemies or heal yourself with healing vapor. Totally think that that's the most OP option you can choose. You can also have enemies forget about Basim or set everything in the area on fire, which looks pretty cool with the red smoke. Throwing knives can poison targets, which can actually help you get the perform 100 kills with poison Ubisoft Connect challenge. That will totally take some time. Now this one is wild, as with the corrode body, enemies killed with the throwing knife will disappear in sand, which looks really cool. Odyssey had something like this, I think, as well, but yeah, now it's also in Mirage, and again, I like that sand effect. While if you are going for a more combat approach, then you might like the armor piercing, which lets you cut through armored enemies that normally are protected from the front, so cannot get hit. The noisemaker in the regular form is of course used to lure enemies in a certain direction, and with the fireworks upgrades, you will hold the attention of the enemies for longer. But you can also make the noisemaker a fire bomb, so more lethal, or as I showed you before, have it cause panic on enemies so they run away. You can also do a big shockwave that will daze all the targets that get hit. The standard use of the blow dart is of course putting enemies to sleep, and there's an upgrade which makes it impossible for other guards to wake their friends who are put to sleep. You can also poison enemies with the blow dart instead of the sleeping effect, or have multiple targets fall asleep from one dart. The berserker dart is of course back, so enemies will attack each other, or you can also have the tier 3 upgrade where enemies are just asleep indefinitely, so they won't wake up, which is really nice for a non-lethal approach. I was also able to use the trap for a bit, and so far I totally think that's one of the weaker tools, as you need to have a lot of patience and position it correctly so enemies can get hit, but maybe there are some really cool upgrades that make this really powerful as well. I could not see them yet. But yeah, as said before, these tools were totally my highlight during my play session because of the amount of ways you can use them in stealth, but also in combat. So I cannot wait to try these upgrades for myself. Now, I was also able to upgrade a weapon. Like, there are quite some connect challenges for gear. Every assassin rank you gain, which happens after killing one of the order targets, seems to give you a new talisman, as you see right here. So totally after getting them, go into the menu and equip them to earn these challenges. And there's also seemingly a scarab talisman we can find. Equipping the Rostam dagger is also needed for a challenge, and we actually had this weapon during the demo that JV and I played, and JV showed it on his channel. Hitting enemies with throwing knives from close range will deal 10% more damage is the perk on this weapon. Kinda crappy, as 10% extra damage is nothing in this game. Luckily, the first two weapons that you get in Mirage are the ones you get in Alamut, and they are pretty good. After a successful parry with a sword, your next attack deals 50% more damage. And if you parry with the dagger, you deal plus 25 defense damage, so you can stun the enemies faster, so they can be insta-killed with a counter attack. Now, you can't upgrade these perks, but you can upgrade the base stats of a weapon at the blacksmith, and that will cost you steel ingots and leather, but you will also need to find an upgrade schematic, similar to how it works with the armor. Talked about that and way more in a previous video that I will link to in the video description. And when you do upgrade an item, the icon will actually change, similar to Valhalla. You can, by the way, also change the appearance for the weapon to a different one you've already unlocked, which is nice, and might be the biggest reason to use the blacksmith early on, as personally I don't see the need to upgrade weapons early on. I think it's maybe smarter to wait for powerful ones. Like one Ubisoft Connect challenge has us equip a special hidden one sword, which probably the one they showed in the behind the scenes video already, which looks pretty cool, probably meaning that we can get the other swords they showed in that video as well. I will of course have a spoiler-free guide for it and way more spoiler-free tips and tricks here on the channel, so totally subscribe for that, and way more Mirage content that is coming your way very soon. A like on the video would of course really help me out. And by the way, uploading raw gameplay from my play session on my second channel, JorRaptor. A link to that in the video description for if you are curious. Check out War Thunder, find a link in the pinned comment, and you can watch my previous video with way more new info by clicking on the screen. I will speak to you very soon. Goodbye.